When you think of the most talented queens to come through Drag Race, yourself excluded, but we recognize. Who are the five, or who are five that come to mind for you?
Okay. And some of these may be unpopular opinions, but we're asking for my opinion. One, I think she's very underlooked for her wide assortment of talents, but I think Violet Chachki is very talented. She does aerial, she does burlesque, she's like a model, she's great at makeup, she's just very well spoken. I think Violet is that bitch. She's also good at marketing herself and knowing what her brand and aesthetic is and selling that. I think Kim Chi is really talented. A lot of people are like, Kim Chi can't do anything. But one thing she can do that it didn't matter if she knew how to do anything is makeup. And nobody can do makeup like Kim Chi. I have seen Kim Chi in person and worked with her so many times, and I could just lick her face. Like, I want to rip her face off and put it on mine. Like, that's how great her makeup is. It's just amazing. And I feel like a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people like say like, oh, but all she does is makeup. And I'm just like, well, it doesn't matter because she's probably one of the best at what she does. People say like, people are like, oh, but we want a jack of all trades. There's no such thing.
Right.
If you're a jack of all trades, you're not that successful. You have to be really good at one or two things. That's how you really make it. Jinx Monsoon is fucking hilarious. And she is such a great actress. She's a good, I'm gonna tie her with Ben de la Creme. They're both from Seattle. They both come from kind of that theatrical scene. They're both really great at comedy and doing these characters, and I think they're very talented. I just met Jinx for the first time in person a few weeks ago, and I was just overwhelmed with her positive attitude, her great personality, and how talented she was. We would break out into improv randomly, which I do when I'm drunk really often. I'd just be like, hello. And we just start talking in voices and being really dumb. But she's really great at that. I'm very critical. So I like to really hone in on every single detail. I'm really thinking about this. Bianca Del Rio. But she's an obvious. Bianca Del Rio is just she's a master at marketing. She's a master at business. And she's a master at knowing her brand, sticking to her brand and saying, this is me, this is what I do, and that's that. You're not gonna catch Bianca Del Rio doing 10 backflips off a building. She's going to do a live comedy show, and her shows are gonna sell out all over the world, and she's always gonna she's gonna do that. It's really hard because I feel like I'm comparing oranges, apples, and bananas, and everyone's so different. So I'm really trying to think about who the girls who have the most marketable packages, who I would pay to see and be like, oh my God, I would spend $150, not even for the meet and greet, but just for the show, front row, and I want to sit there. I want you to spit on me, that's what I'm trying to think of.
Next question, just answer, no explanation. 5 of the nicest drag queens from RuPaul's Drag Race.
In my experience, Cynthia Lee Fontaine, absolutely. Katya, Tatiana. If you have the chance to get drunk with Tatiana, please do. Just keep her on a leash, because you will get lost. You will lose her at the club. Adore Delano, Jaden Dior Fierce, love her. She's so nice and she's so great.
Last one, 5 queens that you would call if you really needed a friend.
Wow, I feel like you're asking a loner that question. I probably wouldn't call anyone, but if I needed a friend, I think the best people to call for me are Shay. Shay, because me and Shay relate on a lot. We're very similar people. Valentina, me and her are kind of, I feel like, where we kind of have a big brother, little brother relationship. So it's just kind of I feel like we are very similar as well. Pheromone. Pheromone, if you want the crazy advice. I remember I called Farrah once and I was like, well, I'm really scared of planes still. And she was like, girl, if it goes down and you die, she was like, it's whatever. I was like, wow, thank you. She was like, girl, it's just like, and she also once texted me and said, hey, do you think that the morgue takes walk-ins? And I was like, this is the most morbid thing I've ever been texted in my life. Also, there's a lot. Jaden as well. Jaden is one of the best people in the world.
Wow, Jaden's super fan.
And also Cynthia. Cynthia is great at giving advice, and she's just so like, she's like, mi amor, you okay? Like that. She will like build you up. Also Trixie. I feel like me and Trixie have an interesting relationship. And like every time, like sometimes I didn't even like text Trixie for advice. Like she just texted me and were like, I saw you do this and you were amazing or you were great. And like I feel like like that's a real friend who will like be like, you know, you don't need to say anything.
Yeah.